Hey guys, welcome to the MC Anime Podcast. We cover anime, geek culture, Japanese aesthetics, and Asian studies. We are a multi-fandom podcast, and you can expect to hear topics in your favorite hobby or fandom activity potentially. You can find MC Anime on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, please check out mcanimepodcast.com, our website. Furthermore, stay tuned in for another episode.
Welcome to another episode of MC Anime. I am MC Anime, and we're back with the co-host today, Leah. So how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. It is a start of another week, but we're getting closer to summertime, so it finally got warm again here down in the south.
Yeah.
So I've been in a good mood.
You've been in a good mood.
Oh yeah, I mean I enjoyed winter, but
Mm.
I miss the beaches and I miss like doing the outside activities. So
Would you be in a good mood discussing your in this particular episode our most hated, most annoying characters? Anime's most annoying characters. What are they?
anime's most annoying characters. First off, that's always up for debate, depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah, no.
That's always up for debate. We did pick our 5 who we have, but we also have our own personal list that, like,
Yeah.
sit close in our heart, which I'm excited to kinda go over. So we'll
Yeah.
be talking about
Your list is. I don't know. I don't. Did you add a? Yeah, if you want, add a third one. But yeah, it's speculative. But the 5 main characters that we be showing later are statistically more annoying in the community, so they're like high ranking because of that. We kind of remove personal opinion about that. So, but let's first start with our personal list because I think it'd be a good comparison.
okay.
You want to share what you thought was the most annoying characters in your personal opinion?
Yeah, I I know you didn't agree, but I have Gohan first and foremost, always will be annoying to me forever. He's from Dragon Ball. What they did to him, very frustrating. And then I also have a Koga uh Tomo, who is from I Dream of Bunny Girl
Mhm.
Senpai. I find her to be very frustrating as
Mhm.
as she is in the plot. And then lastly, uh as a natural entry, I of course have Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins. Um
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
She's pretty
she is
annoying at
she's
times.
pretty annoying. Yeah, I think like her and Minato are like if you're thinking new age anime, you're just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, annoying." So, those are mine. Those are my people. Who do you have?
Oh, Gohan. I mean, it's like, of course you want to pick a child. Of course they're annoying. With all children, you pick Gohan. It's like, Gohan's like low. That's the most annoying. But hey, Gohan's Gohan.
He is. He's a OG. We love him, but what they did to his character still very frustrating. Still frustrating for his universe.
Yeah, I can agree on that one. So, uh, the 3 that I have is Excalibur, Neon Einstein, and Foxy. Um, let's go with Foxy.
Okay.
Foxy's a joke. I can't really take him seriously, and he's in One Piece, of course. But we're introduced to Foxy in a really weird way. They go to this whatever thousand tribe island or whatever. That's where his headquarters at.
Mhm.
And these are like filler episodes. They're not really super relevant to the plot of One Piece. And Foxy's a very annoying character.
I mean, they designed him to look annoying. Anybody who's wearing
Yeah,
those old, like, weird pilgrim shoes that, like,
yeah.
point up towards the sky, yeah, you're gonna wanna punch them in the face 100%. What just right away.
Backseat fight, whatever it's called. The entire teammate, all the pirate crews go against each other in some weird, ridiculous competitions, and his pirate crew has just all these people from all these different backgrounds, all these different races represented. It's like, whoa, okay, backspot pirates, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh. Mm.
and the fact that he's, like, a cheater and, like, a trickster when you
Yep.
beat him, and his personality is, like, super confident, but if you say anything that doesn't boost him up, he gets so sad and
Yeah, I think he has
upset. Yeah.
slow food. Anything he touches becomes super slow or
Yes.
something like that, and then he can speed it up, and then it's like hit you because you're not expecting the slowness. I don't know. He can deactivate it, comes back at you, and then boom. And it's like, okay.
And the thing is, his cannonballs, like, slowing him down and speeding him up, he has great abilities, and if he wasn't so annoying, I think people would like him more. But
Yeah,
that's
it's just
okay. There's enough characters in One Piece that we can let
oh,
this one go to the
there's a
trash
lot of
pile.
annoying characters in One Piece. Okay, there's a lot, but I went with Foxy just because of the hairstyle. He flipping looks like a bad '50s pop star that's just ugly.
I don't know, he kinda he
Oh,
I don't know if you ever watched the old, like, claymation, Christmas movies, the ones that were, like,
oh
Rudolph
God.
and, like, Snow Miser and Heat Miser. That's what he reminds me of. He like, the big nose, the weird body shape, like a deflated balloon. It's just nothing good, nothing good. This this man
Mhm.
wasn't dealt a lot of wins, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Oh my gosh. And then Excalibur. Oh gosh. Let's just say this. He's a royal pain, and
He's
nobody.
strong.
He's strong,
He's
but you gotta.
strong.
You literally have to talk. He talks to people to death. So just say that. His
You know what?
role in Soul Eater is that he's so hard to wield because he talks to the death, and he just babbles on all the time, and
You
very
know,
few people can deal with that.
I'm going to give it to him. Normally when you have a very powerful weapon or something that basically would make the character OP once they attain it. Getting that normally you just have to go through hard trials, like something that's physically exhaustive,
Mhm.
mentally, spiritually, magic, whatever.
Yeah.
But for Excalibur, you just have to deal with being annoyed 100% of the time if you want to be able to use him. And I think that the fact that a lot of people are just like, you know what? Forget it. Like, no, thank you. That power, don't need it.
We'll just
I
say
think
that
that's great.
me and Leah, we cannot even stand one day with the guy, and the person who's wearing a Soul Eater sits with us the entire time. And it's like, you know what? Congratulations on winning Excalibur. You earned it. uh,
See, yeah.
yeah. And then we have uh Nin Einstein. She's very vindictive and get like really evil, and her character development basically showed tropes of that obsessive OCD character who's just annoying just by nature.
The weird part about for Nina though is like one, Nina is an annoying name. And also her character
Yep.
design makes you think that she's going to be like the helpful bookworm or the
Hmm.
one who's like more reserved and you can rely on them, the reliable team member who's always on top of their stuff.
Yep.
But instead, She's just the worst. No one likes her from beginning to end, which is that's a good one. That's how you know they're a super annoying character is when from the first moment you meet them until they're no longer on the
Mhm.
screen. And even the fact that she like doesn't die, I think also
Yeah,
like adds to
pretty
it.
much.
Where you're like, really? The people I love out of here. Nina though, perfectly fine.
True.
Just just good. She's fine.
So,
And she looks so
yeah.
unassuming. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to give it to her. She knows when the vindictive OCD can come in handy. So,
Yeah.
some personal lists. Kind of interesting developing the personal list because there's a lot of characters who are annoying. I don't
Mhm.
know. I agree with all yours. Except Gohan is a really strange choice. Like he's so low on the totem pole of being an annoying character.
I think you're thinking that because you're looking at just annoyability in regards to normal annoying characteristics, like they're
Yeah,
crazy,
he's
emotionally
dumb.
unstable, stuff like that. But when I think of Gohan in the context of Dragon Ball Z, he or just Dragon Ball, he is one of the main characters who like even when the fate of the multiverse was at hand, Gohan was still like, I would love to teach. No one cares. Like, no one cares, Gohan. They had to convince him to fight, and I hate that the most. And it's like
Oh, Pan.
it is a
When
shonen jump, like
when Pan
OG,
in Dragon
grand.
Ball is more annoying than Gohan?
Who?
Pan.
Yeah, yeah, I would say by episode wise, absolutely. But in regards to when I think of how this applies when I'm watching the show, I have yelled more at Gohan trying to be a regular domestic, like simple man than I have yelled at like Vegeta just being like, you know what, I'll blow us all up. Like Vegeta does so many out of pocket things, but Gohan with his I just want to be home with my family mindset, it just annoys me. It does. And this
Oh,
is like
I
a
see it now.
fighting show.
Man,
Krillin
Gohan
Krillin
beat
I can deal with.
Pan. Oh, I just can't give the fact Gohan beat Pan in your eyes. Oh,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
gosh.
This is why
Oh,
personal list this is why you gotta hold him close. Look, I love Gohan. I love to see that he's trying to be a good dad and all that wonderful stuff, but at
it's
least, like, when Krillin decided to stop fighting and just be a cop, he still had, Android 18
mm,
want to fight. Like, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna protect my family." We had to convince Gohan for multiple episodes when Super came out. He was not on the roster. Even though everybody was like, "Yeah, Gohan will be there," he was not trying to come. Gohan was doing everything in his power to not be involved, and it's not the first time he's done that. So he's on that's why he's on my list.
okay. That's fair. So, top 5 characters. This is across the board. We have removed personal choice out of it. We have ranked characters in the community who objectively, yes, are annoying and have different reasons why they are annoying.
Mhm, mhm.
And they have different rankings throughout the community of order. So I think the variety of that way is also interesting too. Um, so who will we be talking about? Simple. Uh, Kiro Yukiteru Amano, Nina Einstein, Excalibur, Misa Amane, and Nobuyuki Sugou. Oh boy. All right.
It's a pretty solid list, I would say.
Yeah, it's interesting.
All of these people are annoying. All of these people I trip
Yeah,
down the
yeah.
stairs, like like, I don't like any of these characters.
Well,
So do
let's
you wanna
discuss
start with,
Yukiteru. Yeah, let's use
yeah.
Yukiteru Amano. and Miro Amano. So what do you think about
Yes. So,
Yuki Amano?
I think the way I feel about Yuki is that for some reason he feels like a necessary evil, but only because he's the main protagonist. If he
Yeah.
wasn't, I probably wouldn't dislike him as much. If he was
Yeah.
like maybe the rival love interest or just the best friend, that'd be fine. But nope, he's who we've got. His
Yeah.
indecisiveness and unenthusiastic lifestyle is what we've got. Just is
Yeah.
what we gotta deal with.
And
How about
he's
you?
I don't know. He's from Future. He's from the Future Diary, I believe. Yeah,
Yes.
Future Diary. He's the
Mhm.
protagonist, unmotivated. He's I think he's hated for the simple fact that he just gives up and does not contribute to the plot like other main characters do. We have him, we don't want him, but he's there.
And if anyone hasn't seen Future Diary, if you know the tsundere like love type for female characters, the obsessive ones, his girlfriend is the poster child of this. So
Yeah.
yeah, like Gasai is the poster child for it, Gasai, and she is absolutely crazy. So her
Yep.
intensity when it's paired with looking at a mono, it's very frustrating because you're just looking at him and you're like,
Yeah, the polar
why aren't
opposites.
you reacting? Like, you
Why
gotta
are you
react
not
more.
getting mad? All that stuff.
Having a bit
Yuki,
more urgency.
I'm just gonna say it. He's super emotional. He has that personality that just bursts up in tears, distress into traumatic situations, coward in battle, coward, coward in battle. Uh, he's literally taking advantage of for protection. No
Hmm.
confidence. Uh, submissive to confrontation. He's aware and feels the insanity that Yunos has for him, but he wants to keep her sane, forgiving her mistakes and keeping her from murdering others.
Yes. So essentially, if you think about Amano, he is kind of like a carbon copy of Shinji from
Mm.
Neon Genesis, but instead of it being where Shinji is battling a lot of things and he doesn't at least have a murderous, yeah, well, that he does kind of have a murderous psycho love interest. But in regards to Future Diary, um Amano kind of just doesn't seem to have the same reactions that we get from Shinji. There is cowardice and like shielding away from confrontation. But I
Oh yeah.
can't remember a moment where Amano, like I looked at him and I was just like, you know what? I relate to you. Like even when he was being cowardly for things that kind of made sense, I was just like, come on. It's been the whole show. You got to do something. Like try, stand up. Like he
Oh
never
yeah.
did it. Yeah.
And poor she has to keep defending someone who can't reliably defend themselves.
I would say poor, but it's just toxic all around. I'm gonna be honest. It's like it's not good for anybody all around.
Oh
And
my
at least
god.
she's strong. If that's the only thing I can say, at least she has the stronger willpower to do something. So you get that dichotomy, but I I'm not rooting for him. I never rooted for him. I rooted for her. I was like, do what you want. You deserve it. But for
Thing
him,
is, okay, here's what frustrates me the most about him. He has the capacity
mhm,
to be a god.
mhm.
He just doesn't have the ambition for it. Compared to
Understandable.
other
Yeah.
characters who are like not able to fight, typically have like a very strong protector. He's able to fight, but he relies on a protector so much that we see as more of a character, as a main character in the anime than him. I'm sorry, but like, come on. You're not a main character just like that. Yuno gets so much more spotlight because she's doing more of the battle for you. She might as well just be the main character and get it done with.
I mean, I'm gonna
I see
say
Yuki as
like
a
we're
side character. I
you know
really
what
see him as a side
we'll delve
character.
into it. We'll delve into it more when we kind of talk about the characteristics that makes these type of people annoying. But it's the same way for Tokyo Revengers with
Oh no!
Tamaguchi. It's like the most like for one, he doesn't even look like a main character, even with the mohawk. It's like you look at him and you're just like, okay, he's not strong. He does have the ability to defend himself because of the time skip and him being an adult, basically. And then everyone else is basically the main character that you want to see, but we're stuck with this one unenthusiastic, almost kind of like unmotivated guy. So it's really annoying. It's so annoying. You're like, you don't deserve this title. Take the MC away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! It just oaks every. You just.
That's what makes him annoying. That's what makes him annoying.
Yeah, this is a good transition to Nina Einstein.
Another character annoying in many ways, but annoying in a different way. Nina isn't the useless in full capacity type of character, but the whole love interest
Mm,
involvement for her character makes it that much worse. Her obsession
yeah,
with the princess is just, girl, get a grip.
yeah.
Go
He's
touch
emotionally
grass.
insecure. He does this obsessive crush on Eupenia and Little Britannia, and she was as a goddess. It's it's really weird. So she becomes obsessive, and so
Yes.
obsessive and vindictive. If anyone crosses her potential love interest, she just becomes insane.
So kind of like how we said about for um our, our last pick, how she has a Sundari type of mindset and characteristics and profile, but not in a fun way. It's you're not rooting for her at any time, which I think is the main difference. If you don't
Yeah.
root for them to be kind of crazy and
Mhm.
obsessive and win, it sucks. Every time they show up, you're just like, you are the worst. Therapy is an option.
Yeah, and here's a quote from her. No, you're not. You're 11. You're 11 and you pretend to be my friend. Give back to me. Give back Princess Euthenia. I needed her. She was a goddess to me. And yes, everything's capitalized.
Of
So
course it
she
is.
meant everything she said in the intensity that she said it.
It is also important to note while she is annoying, we have to give credit where credit is due. When it comes to the crazy face, that like fishbowl lens type of like middle, like look down when their eyes like span out and they're like grabbing their face. Nina, amazing. She knows how to play crazy
Hmm.
to a T. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Like she's very timid and shy, distant from other people, but like paranoid towards other people outside of Britannia. And it's when the princess comes in that she becomes unhealthy, to the point of desire and emotional reliance.
Yeah. I don't,
That's strange by itself.
yeah, I mean, this is a show that's been out for a while, and and a good bit of
Yep.
people have seen
And this is
Code Geass.
Code
But if
Geass,
you
by the way,
haven't,
too.
yeah, but yes, but if you haven't seen Code Geass, I don't want to spoil some of the actions she does that really makes, not only is she the worst, but completely crazy. Yes, like I thought about it and I was like, oh my god, I forgot she did that. But let's just say, um everything that you would not want from like the quiet kid in school to like turn into, or like the obsessive crush to turn into, all those true crime stuff. Think of Nina. She was named after Albert Einstein. but she's smart, but she's
Mhm.
crazy, so that kind of
Yeah.
numbs her down. It evens her out, I guess.
And then, there's a transition. She's emotionally and mentally unhinged, mass violence, revenge. Not telling you why she seeks that revenge, but
Yeah, she's
she's
also
she's
racist.
broken. She's
She's
broken,
a broken
and
woman, but she's also like
she's so
racist,
broken that
violent.
her motive for revenge is actually better understandable than the Lelouch. So I would just say
You
that.
know, you know what? I don't think it's more understandable. I think we're just used to it more. Because in the like,
Yeah,
when it comes to
yeah.
Sudari, yeah, we're like, "Oh, okay, they're obsessed, so that's why we can excuse not excuse, but that's the reason for all the stuff that they do." But for
Uh,
Lelouch, yeah, there was layers to it, and I get it. But
yeah.
yeah, she's not great. She I wouldn't make her a part of your, like, friend group.
Oh no. Oh no. Heck
No.
no. No.
No.
No. No. No. No. No. No.
No. If
No.
you
I
meet this
would.
person, you run.
Oh no. 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 I want one. I will literally say she's a witch and do Salem witch trials.
The confidence in you thinking she wouldn't beat it. Because that's the thing, when it comes to people who are the obsessive lover type or obsessive, like, want to be lover type, they'll fake it until they make it. So I feel like
I
she
don't
would
care
find a
about
way
making
out.
it to them make it. I'm gonna get on the fire brigade and get on going with it.
Alright, Fire Force. If you think you can get her, I believe in you, but I don't know. My thing is that if you don't out crazy crazy, you find out real fast that, like, you made a mistake. And for Nina, she's
Ah,
shown that if you don't out crazy crazy with her, she will make you pay. Even if you had nothing to do with it. You were just a person eating a sandwich in the general area where she was just like, all of this, get rid of it. So yeah, not great, but it's true.
it is. Gosh, can't believe what this says about her. Uh, she's up there.
She is. She is.
Oh
A-
gosh.
And I would like to note in regards to this list that there are people who are kind of on the top 10, like the most obvious ones that people would put as their most hated characters and most annoying. But mainly most hated. But for these characters that we're listing, the more you think about it, the angrier you get. Like some people just do outrageous things and you're just like, you're the worst. But these characters don't stop. The whole time they're there, the worst. Beginning to end. So do you want to go on to your next one who we have on the list?
Yes.
Using your top
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Oh gosh. This guy. Where do we even begin? People
I
don't. Okay,
mean, beginning or
let's go
end.
off with the tale of Excalibur. Uh, the cultural reference to Excalibur is derived from the sword of the same name that once belonged to King Arthur. Often in legend, the weapons attributed with magical powers and associated with the rightful sovereignty of Great Britain. So that's the symbolism and the history. And they apply that legendary weapon, the same name, in Soul Eater. It's a weapon of such class and distinguished ability that the reason why it's hard to wield is because of his personality.
Yeah, a holy sword, but super annoying. Super, super annoying. Um, I don't I think it's like if you could imagine any of the characters in like those 90s or 80s movies where the like main character is trying to go do something important and they have that really talkative, annoying neighbor. That's kind of like Excalibur, but except from them just being a random side character, you
Mhm.
need him. Like he's really strong and really valuable, but he's super annoying. As strong as he is, as annoying as he is.
Oh
And
yeah,
nobody likes those character stats. 0 out of
yeah,
10. 0 charisma.
yeah,
Like, in
and
character builder, they gave him nothing.
yeah, and Excalibur is kind of special because he's a pre-existing demon weapon into properties, but Excalibur has a personality. He doesn't apply to those typical restrictions. In actuality, it's considered compatible with his wavelength, thus compatible with wielding him. So,
Yes.
wavelength and wielding him. His wavelength is literally someone who can stand him for like whatever, you know what, a lifetime. Let's just say that. I think they had them. He was out there for like 100 days.
Something like that.
I think the weirdo had to like endure so much, and then when he got him, he just never stops ranting about. I don't know. This guy can literally do a self monologue, and if you're not careful, he can just make you die of boredom. Die of boredom. You
And they call you a
you
fool while
can
doing it.
you call you a fool for all these different. Oh, he also has. Okay, here's another thing. He has all these different rules. He has to follow every single rule. There's like 1,000 plus rules, and just goes listing them every one by one. You have to agree to it. You have to comply to it. If you don't use him. And a lot of people that go to search for Excalibur, it's not because they can't uh, wield the weapon like pull a sword out of the stone. They can't stand Excalibur.
Which is fair. I'm gonna be honest. Um, I think it's understandable that somebody as powerful and great as he is gonna have some unreasonable demands. That's fine. But when they're very talkative, uh, they think they're funny while being a jerk, and then you have to deal with them the whole
Yep.
time. I can absolutely see how a
Oh yeah.
great hero is just like, forget this. I'd rather become stronger on my own and find a different weapon, a different legendary weapon, than this one.
Yeah. And
I'll put in
however,
the time.
contrary to his unique trait, the number of people counted as his partner of the various centuries remains veritably few, due to solely the fact that no individual is able to withstand his personality for prolonged periods of time. And he's super narcissistic. The detective personality is only exacerbated by his short temperament and patience, making him sufferable to all but a chosen few.
He sounds like the love child of a retail middle manager and a stand-up comedian, where he just sounds like the absolute worst of both of those.
He's
Loves being in
insufferable.
charge
He's
and never
literally
stops talking.
insufferable.
But he also makes jokes, which is the worst.
Yeah.
If you know how this, it's like when Squidward in SpongeBob, we were like, yeah, he's miserable to be around, but at least he's not cracking jokes 100% of the time. Excalibur, you have to deal with him having his stand-up bit.
Hmm.
Like he's just like, all right, like we got jokes in here, and it calls you a fool when you're trying to do stuff. I would give up too. I'm sure of it.
So
Mm-mm.
let's see. He was serious with King Arthur and with a Shinigami. Shinigami was able to stand him for such long.
Yeah, the fairies and like Shinigami, they're unfortunately stuck with him.
Let's see.
Unfortunately.
Going to Frankenstein in the anime, Soul Eater, the strongest weapon in the world, also appeared to the Death Scythes, Death Weapon Master, and Fabled Weapons. The Great Old One. His soul wavelength is at a godly level, and its very presence is able to render a person mad. Despite the great power, and when the both of them were members of the 8 Reaper Legions, Sora was stated by Death to be the strong warlords. He has transformation, all kinds of stuff. I love Madness Wavelength. Reputed to have the Madness Wavelength on par with the. But yeah, drives men to insanity. That's his role. You don't get along. You have to be on a certain wavelength. What do you think about that?
About being on a certain wavelength. I've talked to enough surfer guys who have said this exact line to be like, you're just annoying. Like you're just actually annoying. You're making other people deal with how annoying you are if they want to hang out with you. And it's never worth it. I think even though he's very strong and you can maybe get some benefits out of him,
Oh God, surfer
the
dude.
sacrifice, the
Oh,
sacrifice necessary, not worth it. Not worth it for you, your mental health, your peace of mind, your nap times, nothing.
you
Nothing
know
at
what?
all.
You know the character in Soldier that gets his partner with Excalibur. He's just a normal guy. He doesn't really have much power to himself, and he's a I don't know, he's the glass wearing kind, and he has low self confidence. So
Perfect.
the wimp, the weaker being, is now able to wield the strongest weapon in the world, and somehow is not annoyed by Excalibur, but actually takes notes and does hard training by Excalibur personally training him on what his rules are, and the just nonsense that Excalibur is. I I would not be able to keep up with it. I would be driving to insanity just like the other people. I would probably just dig a hole and cover my face. What about you?
Um, Probably try and toss it into the ocean, if I'm being honest. Just
Oh, he
anything to
doesn't
get
let
away.
you. Oh,
But I do think it's good to note that like if you can match up with the weapon of your choosing and you can deal with their personality, then it's perfect. And Excalibur found that eventually. So for 1,000 no's, you only need one yes. But I would not be that yes. I would
yeah.
be a no.
I
I would,
mean,
yeah, I'd be a no, like Randy from American Idol. Like, be saucy about it, but it's still a no.
American Idol. Oh gosh. All right. Well, that's Excalibur. Oh, he's exhausting. Let's go to Misa Anime from Death Note.
Oh, Misa. How does she annoy me? Let me count the ways. Um, she Misa was the goth girlfriend Twitch streaming type of chick that before we knew what the blueprint was, Misa was there. She is obsessive, and you know what? I will give her 1 point of being 100% down to do whatever Light needs her to do, but outside of that, absolutely annoying.
Oh yeah.
Hate the voice, hate the like movements she makes and the way she like has her mannerisms. Hate the way that she like navigates through the craziness that is this intense cat and mouse game.
Oh yeah.
Can't stand her.
How about the eyes of Shinigami? She doesn't care that she would just disregard her life to basically be able to get the eyes of a Shinigami to say a person's name.
She doesn't
So
care.
you can just look at the person and say, "Yeah, I know your name."
You know what? The thing is, I think that makes me mad about Misa is that I wish I cared that little. Like, you know, because the whole time you're watching the show is, and she's from Death Note.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But Akira doesn't get this power, but he's using her.
but that's the thing. I think
That's
that
even more frustrating.
yeah, I think that's the thing that makes it frustrating. So instead of it going to the person where you're like, this is gonna progress the plot like crazy. It's given to a obsessive girlfriend type, like idol type chick, and she doesn't care about none of it. Only thing she cares about
Exactly.
is light. And it's like
Mhm.
imagine trying to do world domination and the only thing you can depend on is the person with the real power thinking you're hot. Like, Light literally had to be like, "I cannot gain weight." Like, I
Oh my
cannot
god.
get pimples. I can't change my hairstyle. I can't wear a different shirt. He literally was like, "I have to be her ideal type or it's game over." And her ideal type was being treated mean and then, like, being told what to do. So, I guess they were perfect for each other,
Oh
but it was
god.
still upsetting. It's
I
just
mean,
upsetting the
if
whole
you
thing.
want, you can dress up in like 80s boots and all the leg warmers and all that stuff if you want to do that.
No, I don't. I don't. Gonna be upfront with you. And you know what? I think the reason why Misa gets
Mm.
so much more hate than
Ah,
and it you know what?
yep,
It's a
the second
spoiler. I'm
Akira
not but in
back up,
regards to
please.
the Shinigami aspect and her connection to it just makes
Oh,
you madder. Like this girl is getting all she's batting 10 out of 10 out of 10. And this yeah,
mhm,
like she's just killing it the whole show. She's doing
yeah,
great, and she cares the least. Yeah.
exactly. I, I don't know. With her, I feel like she achieves what she wants, and it's also her Shinigami. Like his
Oh,
Shinigami, like
Ren?
yeah, he's just like so nonchalant and just try to be supportive, goes with the flow, doesn't
You know,
really bat an eye how crazy she is, doesn't really care.
she got the best Shinigami for what her personality is. Like, imagine if she got Ryuk.
Oh
Ryuk is the
gosh.
messiest Shinigami I've ever seen in my life. This man is sitting there in the corner chuckling while he's like, "You're doing world domination right now instead of finals. That's what you're doing right now. Like, this is what you want to do with your life." And he just laughs and eats an apple. Like,
Exactly.
thank thank God he wasn't with her. Like, who knows what would have happened?
Oh gosh. Yeah, but to me, light is more important than the world. Oh gosh. Like, but if she didn't happily get the Death Note, would she actually be attracted to Akira like this? To light?
Honestly, I think so. I still think she would be attracted to him because she likes the challenging, extremely different type. So she likes a guy who, of course, is handsome and
Mm,
popular, but Light has something else, or Kira has something else
mhm,
to him that was it's just fascinating. It's like
mhm.
he's smart, he's ruling the world. The best detectives in the world can't find him, and he's also doing something that no one else has done.
Oh
So,
yeah.
like all his other fanatics, I think her love for him as the serial killer and ruler
Mm,
and as him as a person were both genuine love. So I think
oh, yeah.
so.
Hyperactive, impulsive, childlike, evidenced by her tendency to speak in third person. Idiotic by many, she's shown to have moments of intelligence such as tricking himself. Uh, yeah.
Did you stop? Because it
However,
was a spoiler.
just oh my gosh, it just keeps going. She's generally nice to those who meet. Quite cool. She tells Light she can kill any other girl he dates, despite said girls being part of his plan to appear as a young man and deflect suspicion from himself and Misa. So yeah, even if it involves other women, she is just a crazy girlfriend you just can't get rid of. Once you start dating her, you have signed your life away.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of feel like she's doing a great job. Again, if you can't out crazy the crazy, you're stuck. And I
I don't
think
even think it's
Misa
out
knows.
crazy the crazy. You just deal with the crazy in this case. Like
Yeah, that's the thing.
Excalibur, you had to. Excalibur was worse than Misa. Okay, Misa, you're forced to accept her. Excalibur, at least drives you insane to not give you a choice. She does not give you a choice. You have no choice but to accept her.
Yeah,
She forces you to accept her.
power move.
Excalibur literally just wants the cream of the crop, the needle in the haystack to accept him. He does not care who accepts him. It's just that one person, that chosen one, he will wait for centuries to have that person. So she's impatient. He's like been patient for centuries. Oh my gosh.
And look, I think that the main thing that makes it more despicable when it comes to Misa is because she looks at it as like this love aspect, and there is an extent in which a beautiful female being completely obsessed with you. Of course, everyone has an ego, but for her, Light is trying to take over like the world, and she is refusing to leave his side. And so you're so caught up in this like Sherlock Holmes battle of the minds things that when she comes in, you're just like, yo, leave. Get out of here. And she doesn't. Yeah, she just doesn't.
Yeah,
Well,
that's pretty much what Misa is. She's very vital to the plot, though. It's the second Akira. So that is something. The unexpected duo that just now gives me game of no gain, no life vibes all over again.
yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
Oh my gosh. Let's discuss the final character here. Nobuyuki Sugou. Oh boy. If you don't know, he's the Fairy King Obion or Albawitch and the main antagonist of Sword Art Online, the second season. Fairy Dance. You
Um,
remember him? He forcing her students to marry him and continuing his search for him can sell her and become the god of the world.
the worst. Not only is he creepy and rich and feels untouchable, he has a very punchable face.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A very, very punchable face. And of course, Fairy King. Everyone loves like the elves look and all of that. And the name Oberon is just a great name.
Yeah.
King of the Fairies. Like, thank you, Shakespeare. And yeah, he ruins that for everybody. He doesn't care about any of our feelings. So here we are.
I had vivid memories of him. I had him on the most hated anime character poll. We had the scientist from FMA transforming his daughter and dog into a chimera. The
Mm-hmm.
shield, my Rising of the Shield hero, princess that's just a flippin', oh gosh.
Oh,
Bad person.
Multi,
Yeah,
multi,
the
yeah.
person from School Days. He's up there of being the most hated characters ever in that poll. I did that for a blog. That was very popular. People like voting. The top two is like either FMA and My Shield as a Rising as a Shield hero. So that was interesting. But FMA still took it for the most hated character. And he was one of them. He was up there. Oh gosh.
I think there's just some you know like there is that very fine line between the underdog trope and
Uh,
like the sleazy like super smart guy trope that falls in anime all the time. Like either the guy has like the nerdy look and then there's really great qualities about him and he comes out on top, or they usually make them into being like the super smart CEO type of guy who's in technology or something of that nature, and then they do horrible, heinous crimes and you hate them. Like you hate them so much. Like the class president type, you hate them, can't stand them. And Nobuyuki fell right into that.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, the second season of Sword Art Online is that the Fairy King Guild and all that stuff. It's only really one person affected by his crime. It's Asuna.
Yeah.
Asuna is really trapped in a coma in the real world and not able to escape. It has to take Kirito to go along and literally get her out of it so she can actually be immersed back into real life. Which is really weird because we had the previous season, everyone's trapped in the game, you can die.
Mm-hmm.
The only person really trapped is Asuna because he's so obsessively in love with her. He wants to marry her.
Well,
And the objection to
everyone
the
objects.
marriage is like, well, okay, that's fine. I can just trap you to be my forever bride in in this game. And so yeah, he has like very few knowledge about where she is, but she knows he's somehow in this game and he has to find her.
Yeah, and that's terrifying. It's one, knowing your body, your real life body, is basically not defenseless because
Yeah,
she is high profile, but it's still prone and it's laying there, and there's
yeah.
this like crazy
Online,
to
that's what it's
just
called.
yeah, desperately trying to find you or keep you in this like comatose state. And then also he's constantly causing issues. He's constantly fighting.
Yep.
Um he has a ton of resources. He's the worst. I don't think there's ever been anything one good thing someone has said about him.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
even think people are like,
Well,
yeah, I
okay.
like how he's designed. Like not
You
even
have to
that.
understand the history too. Sugu was selected by Asuno's father to marry her, and he was
Hmm.
soon adopted to the family by his father and studied at the same school. So basically, uh, when he saw with a rival, since SAO was clean for good and since they were untouchable, he managed to hack the SAA service through the router and get 300 mines from SAO players, incriminating Asuna as well, and manipulating their minds and people's emotions and memories against some of the will. And he goes as Fairy King.
Yeah. Also,
Captain
I'd like to
Achilles.
point out, wait a minute. I can't remember how old is he? Because compared to the other characters, he also looks like a middle-aged man. Because everyone knows like Asuna is young and beautiful and stuff, but I think what makes it worse is that his young fairy king look and his real life look make you very angry. They make me angry at least. I'm just like, this guy has a mortgage and like car insurance and a lot of other things he could be dealing with, but he's trying to trap his like ex fiance in this virtual world. It's terrible.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. He's the chief of the research of the West Institute. Okay, so it's so weird that he's the ex fiance, but she chose Kirito, so she broke it off, and he's upset, and he just can't get over the idea that Suna's not his. And I think he's also him and Asuna are the only casualties in Elfin Line, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, Kirito, but like, there's not much people affected by this. But there is more
No.
people affected to save her into the mission that Kirito basically learns of.
Yeah. I think also the thing that adds to the frustration is that this isn't the first season of the show, so we've come to
Yeah.
love these characters and we're rooting for them to escape and fight through all the craziness that was happening. And if anyone remembers when SAO came out, like
Oh, right.
it took
That
over the world. It
first
was like
season was
Game of
awesome.
Thrones for anime.
Hell yeah.
It conquered the world. And then like even people were trying to sit there
Mhm.
and think about like oh, what was it? Was it game theory?
Yeah.
That did the like how
If
much it would cost to
AO
make.
would ever be a game to be the
Yeah.
most expensive
Yeah.
game ever, costing billions of dollars.
Thanks, Matt Pat. And so when you have this many people invested and people are everyone loves stuff like this. And
Um,
then we get into the next season and then we find this very creepy, annoying, cowardly dude who just will not go away. It's that much worse. It's
oh
not
yeah.
like season 1 we were introduced to him and we were like rooting for his downfall. We got into season 2 and thought it was gonna be, any who knows what was gonna happen in season 2, and this is what
Oh yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very annoying. I felt the fans. I felt it. Like, get a clue. Don't.
This concludes another episode of MC Anime Podcast. MC Anime Podcast is available on podcast directories like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We also have our website at mcanimepodcast.com. If you want to directly support us, then follow Patreon blog MC Anime. Finally, if you want services for hire, then we're available on Fiverr for audio and video production, graphic design, idea consulting, and blog and article writing.